Welcome back, fight friends, to another edition of the Shoutout Podcast. In the house, Jason Ironman Fenton. By the way, I think I could be wrong. Maybe somebody can double check me here, but I do believe you now hold the Guinness World Record for fastest second appearance on the podcast. Congrats.
Excellent. Thank you. There's my plaque in the mail.
Yeah. I'm not sending it, but hopefully somebody will.
There we go.
Now, you recently, man, I can't remember. There's so much to follow, but you were either part of a fight card. I saw you have a fighter, or you had your own fight card. I know we talked, or both for that matter, right?
Yep. Yeah, I have my own promotion. Me and my partner, we have a promotion. Then there's a bunch of new promotions also popping up here in BC as well. So
Um, how do you feel about that finally?
it's about time.
Yeah.
Like before that with the commission here, before Muay Thai BC got started, the PSO out here, you couldn't even compete in BC until you were 18 or 19.
Right.
Right. So like that's why BC was so far behind. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good fighters, but they would travel to fight. They
Yeah.
couldn't fight at home, they couldn't do anything. So now with the PSO, we can actually have proper Muay Thai here and stuff. And a lot of gyms are growing
Yeah.
and that. So
Yeah, for sure.
hopefully
And
we can catch up with the rest of Canada and then the world. So
it seems to be happening quick, man. Last time we were on the podcast, I'm sorry to take a detour while this is on my mind. IFMA just finished. I tried to watch it whenever I could in the mornings. Lucky
yeah,
for us, that's when it was on. I got to, my kid played fucking Minecraft in the morning while I got to watch fights.
there you
So
go.
can't complain too much, I guess. But did you catch any of the
Oh yeah, I
qualifiers?
watched a bunch of it. Watched a bunch of the Canadian team.
Yeah.
They did really really well this year. So yeah,
And we talked about, man, I might butcher Caden Kutzer. Is that right?
Aiden Kutzer. Yeah,
He fought in IFMA. Am I
he
correct?
fought in IFMA. Yeah, he
How do you
was
do?
the first Muay Thai BC athlete to go. Like there's been
Nice.
I've taken a few fighters to IFMA in the past, but that was just me independent.
Okay, I
But
see.
he was the first fighter that started with Muay Thai BC, went up, and before the Worlds, he went and fought in Malaysia.
Oh,
Trained at a very popular gym there called Rentap.
oh yeah, yeah.
Then went to Thailand, had one fight there, and then went off to the world. So,
Nice, nice. Um, so let's talk about IFMA real quick. Now, if I remember, you fought IFMA, 700 years ago or so, right?
about 650.
So, yeah, okay, there you go. There you go. So I'm just curious. I don't have any IFMA experience. The closest I got was Chris McMillan was going to fight B class in Sweden, but tore his hamstring fighting in Mexico. So that was as close as I got.
Wow.
So I've never been part of that experience. I'm wondering if you can tell us what's the difference between IFMA back then when you had an opportunity and what it is now. The differences and all that kind of stuff. Can you
Well,
dive into that a little?
well, back then they used to have it was a lot when it first started. It was a lot different. Like you'd have countries that say a lot of countries that have an A team and a B team.
Yeah.
You get teams like Australia back in the day. If you weren't on the Australian team, then you'd be on, say, the Cook Island team, or
Oh,
like
okay.
all this stuff.
That
You had
oceanic or whatever they call it,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
if you couldn't make the Dutch team, you were on the Moroccan team.
I
So it was
see.
all, you have Carter Wong from Macau, you'd bring in an American to represent Macau and someone from another place, and they'd be coming out wearing their Macau like tracksuits and stuff.
Well, what's the point of
So,
that?
just so your country could win a gold.
I guess, yeah. Who cares who the fighter is? You're carrying our flag.
Yeah. Yeah. So now, obviously you need a passport to prove that you're from that country and
Yeah.
stuff. So,
How,
rather than take opportunities away from people that actually are from that country,
right.
you got to
Right.
prove where you are. But they also used to have B class, A class, B class.
Right.
Now they have for seniors, they have U23s
Mm.
and elite.
Okay. I see.
So you can go from 17 to 23. You can compete in the U23, and then elite can be any adult.
I see. Okay.
So
Oh, well, there you go. Um, has I know there's a big Olympic push, and I'm curious on your opinion on this. Muay Thai in the Olympics. So I know that IFMA's, IOC, and again, that's where my kind of knowledge gets muddy on
yeah,
all this. But the look, the feel, clearly trying to get to the Olympics. What's your opinion on Muay Thai making it to the Olympics? Do you think that's gonna? Well, I mean, the Muay Thai game is changing, but is that going to change how the world does Muay Thai?
Um, I think it will a little bit, but like even some of the names that compete at IFMA are crazy. Like in
Yeah,
2014, one of my kids lost to Super Bond in the finals.
yeah. Everybody likes
Like
to bring up Super Bond. Yeah.
Artur Levin has competed.
Yep.
Yodson
Yep.
competed.
Young.
So yeah,
Yep.
so it's Super Ball. Like all these guys have competed for IFMA.
Yeah.
So
Um. I guess when I think of like, I don't know. Well, I'll give you my opinion, I guess. But when you look at judo, judo's kind of become, although a very good self defense, but it's becoming an Olympic sport.
yeah.
Taekwondo is kind of becoming an Olympic sport. Is that what's going to happen to Muay Thai?
Um,
And is that good or bad?
I don't think it's a bad thing, really.
Yeah.
Like there was still a bunch of knockouts on IFMA. Like I was still
Yeah.
watching a bunch of KOs. You still see everything. The only difference is you can have 4, 5, 6 fights over 10 days,
Right. Right.
right? From here, the officiating's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like 8 counts, for example, for IFMA. If you're in a tournament for IFMA tournament, you're a lot like more likely to get an 8 count if they consider you getting rocked.
Yep.
But that 8 count isn't an automatic 10-8.
Sure. I'm sorry.
So
Is not.
it's not an automatic 10-8.
Okay.
From here, they base it on like if me and you are fighting and you're beating the crap out of me
Yeah.
and I get a shot in and drop you, but you get up and beat the crap out of me for the rest of the round, you're still going to win that round.
Gotcha. And I guess it has to be that way if you're going to be liberal with the 10-8s. And by
Well,
the way,
it's a lot more just because
I'm
they
sorry, eight
know
counts. I mean,
it's a lot more likely because they know if you win, you're going to have to go and fight 3, 4, 5 more days.
yeah.
So they're a lot more likely if they see something in your eyes, see something, just to give you that count to make sure you're okay.
Sure, sure. And from the and I totally understand from the viewer's point of view of like, did you guys love that beautiful gymnastics ribbon routine? All right, we're gonna go over to Muay Thai where these people are gonna beat the shit out of each other. Like, I get it. I totally understand why. You know, and again, I don't have any experience here, but I have to. I know I'm just being sticky and stuck in my old ways, but uh, I feel bad for saying this, but I don't care if it makes the Olympics.
You know what? I don't think it's really going to affect a whole lot. Like even
Okay,
for IFMA, it's 3 threes, no different than what they fight at RWS. I mean, the only difference is the pads, and that's it.
right, right.
Like it's still 3 threes. It's still, all the rules are the same. Everything's exact same.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
person who writes the IFMA rules, the same one that does the WMC rules
Okay,
and stuff.
I
So
gotcha. Yep,
everything's the same. It's just decide on headgear, elbow pads, and like very thin shin pads, elbow pads, and
yep.
you're good to go.
Yeah, yeah. Put on your Kleenex cloth there.
Yeah.
Um, I have heard as of recent the last few years that there's definitely been a heavy emphasis on volume. Would you agree? Disagree?
Um, no,
Okay.
no, from here because it still has to get a reaction,
Okay. Yeah.
right? Like so there are a lot more that way. Like if you hit me and you stumble, it doesn't score. It's
Hmm.
not the same because you don't have control.
Right.
If
Right.
you hit me, even if I block it, if it moves me, if it stumbles me, it scores. You
Sure.
get that reaction from me,
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
right? So it's not, and you see it all the time with people asking about, say, the strong European teams, the Russians, the Ukrainians, about their
Respect all of them.
boxing,
Yeah.
right? Because a
Yes.
lot of them just box.
Yeah.
But then they're like, well, if your Muay Thai is so good, you should be able to nullify their boxing,
I get it.
right? So,
I
and
don't
it's
like
no
it,
different.
but I get it.
Well, it's no different than when Raymond Decker was fighting.
True.
He
Very
wasn't
true.
fighting Thai style.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was fighting that very heavy-handed, heavy leg kick, that very Dutch style,
Not only
right?
that, but if you watch a lot of him, listen, he gets his own pedestal as far as I'm concerned. I don't care who I call number one, whatever. That's because Ramon Deckers gets his own pedestal for me. But he often would have his left foot in front, but right shoulder forward and stand there just
Yeah,
looking to uncork that left hook. you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
No,
you see
I
a
hear
lot
you.
of the Russians and Ukrainians, they'll still fight that way.
Yeah.
They'll come out with those big heavy hands, maybe throw one kick a fight or a few kicks and go for those hands.
So does that change the landscape of Muay Thai where we like it's easy to say, well, just nullify the boxing. Well, I can't. You know what I mean? So
Well, no, but that's the logic behind it
I get
for
okay.
IFMA, right?
Yep,
It's
I
like
get it.
no problem. If your Muay Thai is that good, then nullify it with your clinch, with your teep, with your
Yeah.
body kick,
You have six
right?
other weapons for sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
you have options, and if you're confident with your Muay Thai, you should be able to nullify that,
Yeah. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So,
I don't disagree. It just I don't like hearing it.
nah, I'm not a fan of saying it sometimes, but
Yeah, I
you
understand.
know,
Listen, I try to look at all this stuff logically instead of emotionally. Um, so what do you see now when you were fighting? Was it the same kind of system, same big names, three threes, and all that good stuff?
no, it used to be 2 minutes, three 5 twos.
Okay,
Used to
okay.
be 5 twos. Then I heard for a while there I wasn't involved. I heard they went to four. They tried to do 4 twos,
Hmm.
and then they're like, "Well, that's just stupid
Yeah,
because you got to draws." So they went to 3 threes,
hmm. I
and
got you.
that seems to be going great.
And do you think that's when I mention volume? I guess maybe that's where that comes from. Is you have 3 rounds, like you have to win two of these. You know, like
Um, no, because it's still the 3 minute round. It's not like it's the 3-2 sprint,
yeah, agreed. I
So
agree. I agree.
and again, you see, like a lot of them for the ones that I watched anyway, the ones I've seen over the last few years, they're still very calm, still very slow, like
Hmm.
not very slow, but like more picking
Pace.
their shots
Yep.
instead of throwing just to throw.
Yeah. Yep.
You can definitely still see the talent pool is
Yes.
still huge, right? Like
Yes. Very true.
it's not diminishing the talent pool. So
Yeah, no, I agree. And by the way, I'm not shitting on IFMA at all. I've always been on the outside, so these are just questions
yeah.
I've had, and I know that you've been involved in for a long time. So I just curious as an outsider from well, decades at this point, unfortunately. Um, now I recently commentated out in Ontario, and I know that Muay Thai Canada or Muay Thai Ontario, I'm not
Yes.
sure which one it is,
Yeah,
but very much follow the IFMA system.
yes.
Which means their title fights are 3 3-minute rounds for A class
Yep.
as well. Um, do you like the idea of A class fights outside of tournaments being 3 rounds, or do you prefer five? Like, what's a system that you like?
Well, if it was pro, I'd say five,
Yeah,
but for amateur, I'm good with three.
yeah, I gotcha. Cool.
Yeah. Like for pro, I would definitely say five, obviously, but
Right.
for amateur, three, 100%.
Even all the way up to like sort of A class amateur as well. Because
Well,
I know
because
like around here, we
well,
used well, that 5 2s, right? Like it's pretty
yeah,
pretty common after sort of like 6 7 fights or so.
yeah. We see for here for us, we go straight to 3 threes after 5 fights.
Yeah,
For us, for Muay Thai BC, you get rid of your gear
yeah.
and you go 3 threes.
Okay. I had a good conversation with a friend of the show, Kieran Walsh from Australia, and I'm always asking him. I really like Aussie Muay Thai, I love it,
Yep.
and I'm always asking him the differences, and how can I get better, we get better, whatever, and what the difference is, and he said same thing, like you were saying, like 3 threes. If you want to get rid of that, the brawling, the sprint, don't make it 2 minute rounds, make it three,
Two
and you
minute. Yeah.
have to slow down.
When 2 minute rounds, I think are like worldwide, I think are kind of falling off. There's not
Okay,
that many people that do 2 minute rounds anymore.
okay,
We
okay,
start out like same as Muay Thai Canada, Muay Thai Ontario. For your first certain number of fights, you do 3 twos,
yeah,
but then you go right to 3 threes, right? It's also how you're going to prepare to turn pro when you're doing these sprint rounds of 2 minutes,
yep,
and then you get thrown into the 5 threes.
yep, yep.
It's like, oh, like it makes for a hard transition, in my opinion.
Right, and that extra minute feels like an extra five.
Yeah.
Like it makes a
And
difference.
and if you don't know how to pace yourself over that minute and you jump right from 5 twos to 5 threes, I mean, you're gonna try and sprint those 3 minutes after a round and a half, you're gonna be done.
Yeah. Yep. No,
Right. So I think starting off with the threes earlier really hones and will make for better pros down the line.
yeah. No, I don't disagree with you. Yeah. Yeah. I've said before, and to you, but you're one of the few people in the Muay Thai world whose opinion I'm listening to, and so I want to ask questions. You've been so involved in um I don't know how you explain like the culture of Muay Thai, not just the punch and the kick. You know what I mean? Like you've been
Hmm.
involved for so long. Um, so I think Canada finished, was it 15th place, I
Well,
believe? 12th. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad, Canada. Um, first of all, congratulations to everybody. I was proud to watch everybody out there. Hey, I
yeah,
commentated that
the
person. And
team did really, really well.
yeah.
Team did well, so.
How do you feel the team did this year as opposed to some other years?
I think it was a strong team this year.
I agree.
There was, mind you, on the other side of the coin, there was some strong draws,
Yes, that's
but
very true.
then you have
Yes.
guys like Harrison King from Calgary who
Yep.
absolutely killed it this year,
Yep. Sure did.
right? It was his second year in the tournament, came out his first fight, killed it.
Yep.
His second fight, I think, was a bit of a savior stoppage. Like he
Yeah.
was too strong for his opponent.
Yep.
But again, that's the draw, and it was the second round. It's not like it was the first round.
Right. Right.
That kid also made to the second round.
That's
So,
right.
but
Yep.
Harrison was just way too strong. Like those kicks were hurting me watching them through the
Yeah,
through
that's what
the
I noticed
internet.
too,
So I
man.
was like, ugh,
Just a few times in the morning.
so
Yeah. Whoa.
and then his third fight, just he fought a killer from Croatia, so but he absolutely came out and turned it around from what happened last year, with his first experience,
Mm.
and absolutely killed it this year and brought
Yeah.
home a bronze,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
so
And I know we always want to win gold everywhere on your first try, but I always try to tell my people, like even the TBAs or any tournaments, like if you come away with something good, but in my opinion, a majority of people when they go to the Olympics, they don't win anything. They get there and they go, whoa. And then they see how other people do it, the routine, and then hopefully they go, okay, I know what to
yeah.
do next time I go back.
Well, and the thing is, if you got, you have to just look at the numbers and look who's competing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The fact that these guys from Canada, most of them with not a lot of, if any, international experience,
Yes, correct.
are going out winning fights against like guys with like nothing but international experience.
Right. And
You
going into it,
know,
not even knowing, like I have no idea who I'm fighting.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, man.
Mind
Yep.
you, in a way, I think that might be a little bit easier.
Agreed.
Because if I heard I was fighting some of those big names before, I'd probably shit myself.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So it's like you get in there, especially with some of the ties, because they
Yeah.
compete under their passport names,
Right. So you don't know
right?
them.
So you get in there and you're like, oh, blah blah blah. You get in there, it's like, oh,
No, you're not.
wait a minute, that face doesn't match that name. That's not who you are.
I know you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think not knowing might be the saving grace a little bit.
Very true. Yeah. That way you
So,
only shit in your pants once instead of for
yeah,
about 10 days
exactly.
straight.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Good call, man. Good call. Um, Man, obviously, when you look at the eastern portion of the world, on fire, man, on fire. Um, how do we? I know the answer. Like I know there's funding and all that stuff, but what can we do to catch up to those kind of nations? Not that we're doing bad, but there's clearly
We just
eyes on that side of the world right now in their fighting ability. How do we catch up to them? Or you know what I mean?
we just gotta stay busy and make sure that we're building the right way,
Mm,
right? Like not throwing people into fights that they shouldn't even be in.
yeah,
Like fighting 5-2s or fighting 3-3s when you have no experience.
yeah,
I'm like, it's like that's more likely to turn people off than it is to help them grow, right?
yes,
It's like, even I'm a big fan of your first few fights wearing gear,
agreed.
right?
You're
Because
gonna
if
make
something if you're gonna get injured in a first fight, if your fight's gonna get stopped, let it be because you're wearing gear and you're getting overwhelmed or something like that,
right.
right? But when you get thrown to the wolves right off the bat and you
Yeah,
have a bad experience, that's gonna, wreck the sport for you.
right, right.
Right. So,
Yep.
and then not only for you, but then you're going to be going around saying, oh, well, this is bad because I got hurt because of this or this. Whereas if you give them an opportunity to grow with the pads on, that will actually determine whether or not they love the sport, want to stick with the sport, or, whatever, where they want to go with it,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So,
And let's be real. I mean, even 50, 100 fights and people still make mistakes. But your
yeah.
first few, dropping your head in the clinch, just things that should not be done. Right?
Yeah.
I agree. And
Yeah.
not that you can't get hurt. I mean, Christ, we're fighting.
Oh,
But
yeah. You can always get hurt,
sure,
but if you can minimize that,
right.
that kind of makes it easier or helps the longevity of the career.
Yeah, right. And,
So
and for the other coach, just be honest too. Like, let's just have forget the win. Let's just have a good matchup here. A
yes.
proper matchup. Don't worry about the goddamn win.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. And
hiding
that's the thing.
information.
I tell my guys all the time, I'm like the majority of people lose their first fight,
Yeah,
right? And the rest of the time, there's really only two ways it can go. You're gonna win and you're gonna lose.
that's right.
That's it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. And I tell
the
people either
one thing that
way,
drives me nuts and it again makes me want to like, oh snap,
you can say
is
fuck,
people
go
are
away.
like, oh, you either win or you learn. I'm
Right.
like, where the hell on your record is that other L?
Right.
It's
Right.
wins, losses, draws. I don't see another
That's
L.
it. Yeah.
I'm like, if you're not learning from your wins as much as you're learning from your losses, you don't have a good mindset and it's not for you, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? You need to learn just as much from your winning as you do from your losing.
Right. 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 And if you don't, well, that winning trend goes away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. No, I don't disagree with you. Um, who was your if you had to give an MVP? Unfortunately, I don't know. Well, I probably know. If you can give an MVP to what you saw of this year's IFMA, who you give it to?
From Canada,
Yeah.
honestly, I'd say Harrison.
Yeah, me too.
I would give it to Harrison.
Yeah.
Especially going in from where he was last year at IFMA, how he did, plus just his growth over the time, the way he
Mhm.
carried himself, the way he fought. I would definitely say it was Harrison for me
Yeah, me
this
too.
year.
Me too. And of the fights I saw for sure. I know, oh man, I can't remember her last name. Grace. She fought in
Yes,
Airdrie.
Richardson.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. But also, probably up there as well, I would say. Yeah,
Yes.
she looked great.
She's also come a long way too. That
Yeah.
I believe we had three athletes that came from the youth team
Oh, nice. Okay.
that competed there. So
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
and they competed in the U23.
Right. So I
So
already got their feet wet a little bit. And
yep.
yeah, man, good on her.
Yeah.
Man, Grace looked awesome in Airdrie. Like it's like she was doing Muay Thai, and no offense to her opponent, but it looked like she was doing Muay Thai for like a video game, and her opponent just kept getting in the way. Like it's one thing to win, but man, she had beautiful Muay Thai doing it. She
Yeah.
looked really good.
Yeah, I saw that
No
fight.
disrespect to her
The
opponent.
girl, the girl's from a strong gym out here, but more of a kickboxing gym.
I got you. Okay.
That's the gym that Josh Johnson's from.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it's his brother who's the main coach there, who's
Um,
doing great things with
Jay.
the gym out there. Jay,
Yeah,
he's
gotcha.
doing great things with the gym out there. Pardon me, but they're mostly kickboxing stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, makes sense. Makes
Yeah.
sense. And it showed in that fight for sure.
Because out here people would say they did Muay Thai. Like even back before there was allowed full Muay Thai, they were like, "Oh, I'm fighting Muay Thai." It's like you're fighting the exact same rules. They just call it something different. It was
Yeah,
just kickboxing rules
yeah,
with the
I ran
knees.
into that. We had a fight on Vancouver Island in Muay Thai and for a title, and they
Yeah.
go, okay, so here's the rules: punch, kick, you can't clinch, you can hold and do one knee, and I'm like, that's kickboxing.
Yeah. But again, that the
Shit.
commission at the time just didn't know,
Yeah,
right? Which
yep,
is why they let us and they vouched for us to control the sport out here like that. So
sure. So I know this happens everywhere. You just said, for example, the commission members just didn't know. I got to be honest, and I no disrespect to anybody for real, but that I hear that sentence a lot across the country. Um, I don't know.
but
So,
that's why they call them PSOs,
okay,
right?
yeah,
Like provincial
yeah,
sport organizations.
right.
It's no different than like hockey BC, wrestling BC, judo BC, right? Because they don't know about those things either, so they let people who know control those, right? Like every sport
Okay,
has what's
hold
called
on.
an NSO,
So this
right?
this is where like I am muddy as hell.
Yeah.
I've like I did one referee or judge course. I can't even remember anything about it. I haven't promoted a fight, so like I'm genuinely coming from this the other side, the athlete, the coach, or whatever. But so is at least out there is the commission separate from the PSO?
Yes.
Okay,
So if you want to fight Muay Thai, you have to go through Muay Thai BC.
okay,
The commission still sanctions kickboxing, but not Muay Thai.
okay,
That being said, we still have to go up to the commission, like they're still our boss, So like they're like perfect example, our fighters have to do an eye exam out here,
Hmm.
which no other commission requires, and we usually don't require it.
Right.
But the BC commission requires it for amateur athletes. So we have to do it. So
Okay.
even though we're our own PSO, we still have to follow certain rules that they tell us.
Muay Thai BC is the PSO.
Yes.
Okay. How do you make that happen? How do you do that?
A lot of hard work.
Okay.
And
And I'll
like for us, see, it's different for us than in Ontario.
right.
In Ontario, they roll right up to the ministry. So
Oh,
it's the ministry in Ontario that's in charge of sport like that.
okay.
For us, we have to go through our commission. Then we have something called Via Sport, who's in charge of all the PSOs in BC. So Via Sport's in charge of like wrestling BC, hockey BC, rugby BC, football BC, pretty much anything BC is through Via Sport. So we have to follow their rules and regulations as well.
Do they conflict?
Um, they don't conflict. They just kind of add some more stuff on that we don't usually do.
Sure. It does it it's it maybe I'm wrong, but does it is it it sounds like you have to delegate to some so they can be more specific, right? It's like the president. The president can't, or prime minister, whoever, can't do the whole damn thing. He's got to delegate.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it that kind of thing as well?
It's that kind of thing, but they don't have as much power.
Okay.
Like they kind of step back and say, okay, you know what, we'll let you guys run your thing. From here, they can randomly audit us,
Okay.
or they could randomly show up at a fight show
Which
just to make sure
not a
that
terrible idea.
because we have to hand in all of our rules to them, we have to hand in all of our regulations to them, we have to hand all that into them for them to okay,
Sure.
right? So if they randomly show up to a fight show and all of a sudden this fight's happening, but they're not following rule A, B, or C, now all of a sudden we get in trouble
Sure.
because we're the one that let that promoter do it, but that promoter's not following the rules.
Yep. Oh,
So
I get
it
it.
kind of puts the accountability on us as opposed to the accountability being on them.
Yep. Right. You guys said you know what you're doing. We trusted you. You showed
Yeah,
that you understood.
yeah,
So go do your thing. Don't f it up.
yeah, and keep the people under you in line, not in line, but make sure they're also following the rules that you set out
Yeah.
to say that you're following.
Um. Are you? Who's? Are you part of uh, how am I forgetting the word here? Muay Thai PC.
I'm the vice
Um.
president.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Yeah,
Yeah,
vice president. So this is fairly new. Just the
20
whole scene in
September
BC.
22.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
From my recollection about when all of a sudden you start seeing all these fight cards happen in
yeah.
BC. Um, do you get any resistance to having a PSO and it has to be this way? Like, listen, if we want to do this, things are finally going. Like, are you getting resistance at all?
We're not getting resistance that way. It's just getting people are used to a certain way around here in
Of course,
BC,
anywhere
right?
people hate change,
And
man.
the thing is, the commission can still sanction kickboxing fights.
Yep.
So for the first year and a bit, it was kind of hard to explain to people the difference. Like, no, 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 this is Muay Thai. What you were fighting there isn't Muay Thai. This is
Right.
Muay Thai.
Right.
So trying to get people to convert over was a little difficult just because they just didn't understand. They were told that Muay Thai was, like you said, punching, kicking, no clinch, one hand from your one knee, let go, move on.
Right. Yep.
So trying to explain them like, well, this is actually Muay Thai. It's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So, but it's growing a lot now. We've got, I think, one, two, three, four, five, like five, six promotions
Yeah.
within
Yeah.
BC going now and
Awesome, man.
stuff.
Awesome.
So
That's great. Congratulations, BC, and yourself. Obviously, you're a big driver of this.
yeah, it's going well. Every day we're just trying to get more gyms involved and trying to get more people promoting and
Yeah.
grow the sport out here. So
Nice. Right on. Um, Now, how long have you been living out there now in BC from Alberta, Calgary?
23 years.
23 years. Good. So you have good experience in both. Um,
Yeah.
um, where does Alberta need help? Okay,
I
can I
think
explain?
honestly,
Can I explain this from my point of view?
yeah.
Just real quick. So it's like Muay Thai Canada, WKA, WBC, WMO, or whatever. Like all these different things with different rule sets, and it's I don't know. You choose to work with them. You choose like man. I don't know. From my point of view, just it kind of seems like a mess. And you often have the same judges and referees. And this isn't a knock to them, but I'm just saying. But they must be like, well, what rule set am I looking at today? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I know that's something that we're talking about within Muay Thai Canada, creating our own officials out in Alberta,
okay,
which is what we do here. Like we don't use commission officials. We have Muay Thai BC officials, no different than Ontario. They have Muay Thai Ontario officials.
I guess that's just it. Everyone's doing their own thing out here, and we're not
And see,
together.
I think for Alberta to grow, and as much I was against it when it first happened out here, I think they need a provincial commission.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
the issue is like you can fight 15 minutes outside of Calgary and there's a different commission,
Yes,
right? Like
yes,
that's the issue, and that's why it's so fragmented out there.
yeah,
Because you go here, it's like this commission, yes. Go here, this commission like, no, you can't do it. So, they need that one provincial commission, and I think that would really tighten up a lot of things. Only because, like I said, I wasn't a big fan of it when it started here,
sure.
but now it does make things easier because no matter where in BC you going, these are the rules you're fighting, period.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yep. I get it. And from a selfish point of view, but I look at Ontario, I'm like, man, how come you guys all get to go to IFMA? I look at you guys now in BC. How come you guys get to
well,
go?
no, so IFMA,
However, wait, hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. But I was going to
no.
say though, and that very well could be a super ignorant statement. Don't get me wrong. We have some from Alberta, but I think what it honestly is though is we're not organized provincially.
Yeah, I think 100%.
Yeah, that's
Like
that, you know
the
that's
thing
why.
is, this team from IFMA was made at the CMTOs last year,
Right.
the Canadian Muay Thai Open
Yep.
tournament in Ontario.
Yep. Yep.
Everyone who won out there, that was the team,
Right.
right? So you actually had to fight to qualify,
Sure.
right? It was a 2 day tournament. Caden, for example, Caden had 3 fights in 2 days to
Nice.
qualify.
Yep.
Harrison had, I think, 1 or 2 fights in 2 days to qualify. Like
Yep.
everyone out there actually proved themselves and fought to earn their position.
Sure. I don't. I'm not saying it's
Right. So
handpicked. I'm not saying
it's
that. But
it's whoever goes to the tournament, like this is the trials. If you
right.
want to make the team, let's go.
Well, and that's just I guess what I'm alluding to is there's somebody out there or many people out there that are sitting down, putting in the work, doing the paperwork. Like someone's got to be doing that stuff and
Yeah.
keeping it organized. Therefore, you have tournaments happening provincially. But I'm sorry, I wasn't saying, oh, it's not fair on Ontario. That's not at all what I'm saying. What if anything, what I'm saying is, from what I can see from an easy answers, these things happen because they're organized provincially,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we just don't have
100%.
that here.
But
Um,
the thing is I know for a fact that the gentleman who puts on the CMTOs, he reaches out to everyone. He sends
me
out
included. Me
posters to
included.
everyone. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
really it just comes down to who wants to be part.
True. So,
It's not like it's a invitational tournament. It's not like
yep,
it's anything. He lets everyone know this is what it is. This is the qualifier,
yep,
right?
yep,
So if you want to fight and qualify, this is what it is.
yeah.
So
And don't get me
and
wrong.
it's
Awesome
a
that we have an
and it's
official
a
qualifier.
fantastically run tournament. I was
I've
there, like
only
I
heard
said, I
good
was there
things, man.
last year and I'm going again this year.
Beauty, beauty.
So
Only heard good things.
yeah,
Um, but I mean, but and I guess another reason why it would be is and again I totally understand for everything I just listed out, but most of those, not most, but some people get to drive 20 minutes to this thing, where others have to like coming from BC fly across the country.
yeah.
Is the fact that we're just such a huge country like
Well,
part of the
and
problem?
that's the thing that in my opinion has kind of kept us a little bit behind as well, right? Like
Mhm.
even
Yeah,
for
agreed.
for promoters to bring us to the States, it's
Yep,
like, well, we can get a guy from Idaho, or we can bring you from Alberta. It's like,
yep,
so that's the problem.
yeah,
But, you know, I think that also kind of makes us stronger because the people that make it prove that they want to make it.
right,
It's not easy,
right.
but they still make it,
Yep, that's right.
So I think that's what makes us, stronger, more mentally strong athletes from
Mhm.
here is because we have to go through more. We have like they have to
Mm-hmm.
work harder
Mm-hmm.
to get the same opportunities. Guys, like you said, have to drive 15 minutes, 20 minutes to do it.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
so
Yep. I couldn't agree more. If you want it, you're just going to make it happen. Bottom line,
yep,
there's no excuses. You'll just do it.
yep,
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. Um, Daryl, is that his name?
yes,
Or
Daryl.
yeah,
Dark Side Muay Thai.
Dark Side. Thank you. Shout out to them. Like, I swear, just for anybody listening, I just have questions. Like, I'm not, I'm totally neutral, but a lot of the
It,
Team Canada stuff, like, I've just never been part of.
yeah.
So I appreciate you, even just educating me. I just have no idea. Um, do you have any insight on, like, there's BC, Alberta? I know sometimes we forget about some of the other provinces when it comes to combat sports, but Saskatchewan, Manitoba. So, like, I hear Manitoba actually back on the fight scene.
They just got their PSO.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So that needs to happen. Is the bottom line? Hey.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Okay.
again, for Alberta, for it to happen, there's so much politics out there and so much, but again, so not even politics with promoters, but so many different commissions,
Yeah.
right? Like look at
Yeah.
Ontario. Ontario's got a provincial commission. BC has a provincial commission. Manitoba has a provincial commission, and those provinces have PSOs,
Right. Right.
right? So
And like you
because
said, you
it's
drive
hard enough,
15
it's
minutes any direction, you have a new commission.
yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Alberta. Yeah.
So here, if you have a provincial PSO, you're used to working under one set of rules. So adding in
Correct.
a P, or sorry, if you have a provincial commission, you're used to working under one set of rules. So therefore, adding in a PSO, there's no real switch of what's required,
Right.
right? It may be a different set of rules, but everyone's still got to follow those rules. Whereas in
Yes.
Alberta,
Yes.
you have 18, 20, 30, 40 different commissions,
Yeah.
so if you can't get them to work together, how are you going to get the promoters to fall under one set of rules or
Agreed. Agreed. I
so
don't know. I don't know if you would have any insight on this. But would could like if you, so there's a provincial commission PSO, right?
yeah,
Um, they're they're all gonna have to, or all of the commissions are gonna have to get on board with this, right?
yeah.
For this to
Is
work.
I'm not sure how that works. I'm not sure if the commissions get on board or if it's the provincial government that just says no, we're taking over. I'm not quite sure how that one works.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's more just the government says no, we're just taking over and this is the rules.
So the PSO would be the government of Alberta.
Or like the government of Alberta would have to come in and say, now we're one commission.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then someone would have to go through all the work to actually start the PSO for the
That sounds
sport.
like that could take years.
It's not pleasant.
Yeah, that's a good
It's
way to say it, I guess. Eh?
it's a lot of back and forth. And again, depending on for us, we have to, like I said, we have to answer up to the commission, then to Via Sport.
Hmm.
Whereas in Ontario,
Right.
they go straight to the ministry,
Right.
right? So it's different for each province that way as well. So
If per se in a world we all got somewhat on the same page, would it be like you said, it's different in Ontario than it would be in BC, but at least if we're all on the same page, it would make working with every province, I would assume, unbelievable. Well, there's not so many commissions you're working with.
yeah.
Hmm.
Say that again.
um like so you were saying, like, Ontario has the ministry, you guys have, I can't remember what the name you dropped there.
We have Via Sport,
Via Sport, thank you.
and then Via Sport goes up to the ministry. So
Right.
we just have extra steps in there that
Okay.
Ontario doesn't have.
Okay, but bottom line is it would be the same, obviously.
Yeah.
So then, so how does it work then? So let's use Muay Thai Canada, and I'm BC specific. So then, do you guys have Muay Thai Canada, like, sanctioned events? Is that the right word even? I don't even know.
Well, we have Muay Thai BC sanctioned event, which is so the NSO, the National Sport Organization, is Muay Thai Canada.
Okay.
Pardon me, sorry.
No, no worries.
So you need an NSO in order to have a PSO.
Yeah. Okay.
So we answer up to Muay Thai Canada. Muay Thai Ontario answers up to Muay Thai Canada. Muay Thai Manitoba answers up to Muay Thai Canada.
I see. I got
Like
you.
we can't even set up a PSO unless you have the national one.
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so then Muay Thai BC then. So would Muay Thai Canada be similar to sort of like the PSO? Like they're keeping you in check, just double
Yeah,
checking everything's
yeah.
good, you know?
They're on the national, so they're keeping all of us in check, like
Yeah,
Ontario, Manitoba,
yeah.
BC, soon to
Well, and
be Quebec.
right. Oh yeah, that's right. And Muay Thai Canada, you don't see it very often out here in Alberta, but I have to and I have to
Well,
admit though.
I know that as of right now, from what I've heard, they're the only sanctioning body allowed in Calgary proper through the commission,
Okay, that makes
Muay
sense.
Thai Canada.
Okay, I can put that together now.
So
I get it.
now all shows that happen within Calgary have to be Muay Thai Canada.
So and so why can't you have someone else Muay Thai not Canada? Like
I don't know. Actually, the commission actually sent a letter to our president, Muay Thai Canada president, saying that they're the ones that are allowed to do it now.
I see.
Like,
You know
so
what
it
I mean? Like
was,
if I went through all the same situations, could I not have, you know, like Canada, maybe not Muay Thai Canada, but Canada Muay Thai, could we not both coexist in Calgary? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
um, I think you're only allowed one PSO,
sure.
right?
And I
Again,
get why, otherwise we end up in the same damn situation.
yeah. Otherwise, it's just, yeah, it's the same, the same circus with
Yeah.
different actors, right?
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah. Yeah. Different letters in the
but
alphabet.
so like and that's the thing, people complain that, oh, these guys think they run it, these guys think they're, it's like, okay, look at Hockey Canada.
Hmm.
Show me someone else who's going out and trying to fight Hockey Canada.
Hmm.
Like, that's just the way it works in North America, is they have that national sport, then they have the state sport or provincial sport. Like, that's just how it
Hmm.
works out here, and people don't seem to understand that that's the way it always is. Like,
Yep.
go ahead, try and start your own junior hockey league.
Right.
You
Right.
can't. You have to go through Hockey Canada, Hockey
Sure.
Alberta. Like, it's not. And that's the thing with fighting. It's been so fractured for so long, and everyone just running, doing whatever they want for so long. Now that there's actual rules and stuff in, people are like, oh, you guys are just trying to do this or just trying to do that. It's like, well, they're just trying to bring it where it's on a level playing field for everybody,
Yeah. Well,
right?
and what
Like,
I
and the
want,
thing is, there was a tournament out here where a young man competed. He was here for med school. He was here for med school. He
oh, I
did
know
one of
this.
those quote unquote continuous tournaments, and he was a novice. He was a young kid here for med school. And the guy that competed with him said he was a novice. He went in and knocked him out. Now that poor young man's in a vegetative state.
Hmm.
From here, it turns out this guy was not a novice. He had fought in Thailand. He had competed and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And now there's a huge lawsuit.
Yeah.
And that's part of the issue as well, right?
For
Because you have
sure.
people doing
For
stuff
sure.
that's not sanctioned,
Sliding
with
through the cracks.
no, like, not following stipulations, not following rules,
Sure.
not following stuff, and people get hurt.
Sure. Yep. I hear you.
So,
And and let's be real, man. There's obviously a situation, you know, like you can see with WBC and everything as well. And again, I try not to get too involved. Like I don't know how it works, so I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
But so what I want is the organization. That's when I see what Muay Thai BC is doing. Even though you're new to it, I see the organization. I see the organization happening in Ontario. Like that's what I
Yeah.
want. You know, like when we used to have like on in the UK, the A class, B class, C class, and
Yep.
you hear some places in Europe where you stay C class, not after 5 fights. You have to win 5 fights, then
Yep.
you go to like. I'm like, man, that'd be cool to have something like that. Or could we just, I don't know, I've had 3 fights, 5 fights. Oh, I'm a novice, and then
Yeah.
then there's a lawsuit. So that's that's what I'm craving in Alberta,
But that's what happens when there's no regulation,
without a
right?
doubt.
Stuff like that happens.
Hmm.
So now even those tournaments now are not allowed in BC anymore. Like,
I don't
if you,
disagree, man.
even though we have the PSO, perfect example, we're doing our Muay Thai BC provincials at the end of August.
Right.
Even though we have the PSO, for us to sanction or for us to rent the venue, they're like, okay, but you still need a letter from the commission, because they want to make sure, because the commission came out and said, no, there's so much unsafe stuff with that kid getting injured and stuff.
Hmm.
So we still had to go get a letter from the commission saying, yes, these guys followed the rules, these rules, this.
Yeah. when you just go pay $50 and sign a piece of paper, the checks and balances that should be there are not there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
fully
and
understand.
not having a doctor there, not having
That's
even
crazy.
medical staff, like even paramedics, like
Yeah,
yeah, that's not
right.
acceptable.
Somebody needs to overlook that.
You know,
Yeah,
and especially because it is a contact sport. People get hurt.
yeah.
Even when you fought, even when you win, you get hurt.
Yes. If it goes
You
longer
know,
than 10
so
seconds, there's an injury.
yeah, so to not have medical staff there to take care and make sure everyone's safe,
Yep.
like really that just tells me that you don't actually care about the sport or the competitors.
Right. It's about you and your event.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, man, I don't disagree. Believe me, this has been awesome. This is what the questions I have, because I just and quite often, like, the answers I get from things are just like, because that's just the way it is, or somebody wrote it wrong in the rules, and it's like, what? Like, come
Yeah.
on. And
Well,
and
that's just an easy way out for someone that doesn't understand
or that's
what
just what they
actually
heard from the
happens.
other guy over there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I appreciate you actually dropping some knowledge. That's what I really wanted. I've been doing this a long time, man, and I still have just some questions. I'm like, I still don't understand. Like,
And you know what? For sure. That's the thing, like you're always learning. I'm always learning.
sure, sure.
I'm still studying tape. I'm still watching, golden era stuff, learning from that. I'm still watching the new stuff, more golden era stuff, but a little bit of the new stuff.
Preach,
So
preach.
a little bit of the new stuff, but
Yeah, I hear you.
like if you stop learning, then leave, like
Yeah,
quit the sport. Like why?
yeah, don't be that guy or girl.
Yeah.
Um, why do you like the golden era so much?
Ah, man, I don't know. I think it was more talented. I think it was more style. You
Yeah,
could
there it
see the
is.
styles of each person more.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was more talent
uh,
personally,
I
and the
like.
best fighting the best over and over again,
Yes, yes, good call,
right?
good call. Yes,
So
always big names. And for me, I know this sounds kind of funny, but uh, they they weren't as well rounded. So you actually had the knee guy versus the elbow guy versus the
yeah,
kick
yeah, yeah, yeah,
guy. And much more of that stylistic fight
yep.
instead of everybody just kind of being well rounded,
And
which is still
and
fun. Don't get me wrong.
and it was, yeah, it was a matchup of styles.
Yeah.
And again, that takes me back to the IFMA thing.
Mm,
No different. It's a matchup of styles.
mm.
Because a lot of those Russians are Muay mat. They're
Yes.
big punchers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, that's just their style. So nullify their style. Same thing.
All right, coach. Hit me with it then. How do you nullify that? What do you do? Yeah. I'm fighting a Russian. You're my coach. Coach, the hell do I do here?
We'll move on to the next one. No.
Good luck. Close your eyes.
Yeah. Let me know how it goes. From here, like teep, boom,
Yeah.
teep, which will lead to the fake teep, get into the
To the knee.
clinch.
Yep.
And from here, if you can tie them up, they can't punch you.
Yep.
If you can keep them out of their range, they're gonna swing,
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
right?
Yep.
So it's either
Nice.
you keep them far or you hold on to them.
Yeah. No middle ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good call. There you go. People pay attention if you're fighting Eastern Bloc fighters. Take it from coach right there. Um, how do we had a good showing. IFMA's looking good. How do we get better next year? What do we got to do?
Well, the next CMTOs is happening August, the beginning of August.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people will come back hungry, as well as a lot of people will see what they did
Yeah.
and will train harder to try and beat them,
Yep. Good
right?
call.
Because that's
Yep.
the thing, especially there's so many young up and coming lions that see these guys as maybe, okay, last year they beat me, but if I do this, this, and this next year, I can take their spot.
Right.
When you
Yes.
see a lot of that, right? Like
Right. So
hungry
now we're
guys trying
competing in
to
our own
take the
country.
spot, and that's what
Yep.
it's all about,
Good call.
right?
Yep.
Not going, oh well, that guy's too good. I don't want to fight him. It's like, no, shoot your shot.
Yep.
Work hard and try and beat them. Take their spot.
Right, right. And back in the day, when you were active, and I was just a young, stupid kid, but everybody always wanted to fight somewhere else. Like, oh, I like, not with the, maybe I'm just a dumb, stupid kid, but I wanted to fight internationally. I wanted to fight in the US, but not with the understanding of, you don't get those opportunities till you clean out your own pool.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
Like,
and that's exactly it. That is 100% it,
yeah. And so
right?
now we're seeing that, right?
Yeah. And that's one of the issues we're having out here in BC. It's like you see some people out here, it's like, oh, I don't want to fight that guy. They're my friend. I don't want to fight that guy. We trained together once in 86. I'm like, I'm like, that's fucking awesome. But your pool is still here. Like, You
Yeah.
know, I'm not going to be flying people in for you. I'm not going to be doing all this stuff when you haven't even proven that you're the best here.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, there's lots of local people you can fight, but out here, that seems to be the big thing lately. You
Mm.
know, you get some, not with everybody, but some people like, oh, I don't
Sure.
want to fight that guy. He's my friend. It's like, you know what? It's business.
Yeah.
Either you want to move up the ladder and go, or you want to stay content with your friends and just,
Yeah.
chill.
And on the other end, does your buddy feel the same way?
Well, that's exactly it, right? Like the thing, yeah, that's exactly it. It's like, well, now you're holding them back because they're willing to fight, but you're like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah. You don't want to fight your friend? No problem. Off you go. Next. I'll ask the next guy
Yeah.
to come fight.
Like my fighter fought a buddy of his on the last show in Kelowna here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They got in there and beat the crap out of each other, and there you go, good to
Yeah.
go.
It's not personal. I mean,
At our provincials last year, we had two guys from the same gym fighting, and they got in there. They're both wearing their same team shorts, and it's like, actually, Caden Kutzer was one of them.
is that right? Hey?
Yeah, he was fighting a kid from his own gym, and they got in there and scrapped for 3 rounds, and there you go.
Yeah. It's and you know better than any that when you're for the most part when you're in there, your opponent's faceless. You got a job to do.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's not, we don't have that MMA mentality or even that boxing mentality. It's like, oh, I fucking hate you. I'm going to kill you. It's like,
Yeah.
it's a job. Like, it's a
Yep.
martial art.
Yep.
It's a sport. It's a martial art. Like,
It's a journey.
it's respect,
Yeah.
So, and everyone out here respects each other. Like, you go to weigh and you see people clapping for their opponent and, whatever. It's,
Love it.
what's the point of talking shit? You've already signed a fight. The fight's
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
happening. Why go in there
Yeah.
and act like a douchebag?
You're gonna do it in 24 hours. Just
Yeah,
take a break. Yeah.
yeah,
Tough guy.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what
No,
people need to understand or, you know, get that.
agreed. Um, can you drop that date one more time to uh qualifier?
Provincials.
Sorry,
Oh,
the
for CMTOs.
yeah,
The CMTOs are
CMTO.
happening. Hold on, I got a poster.
Oh, all good, man.
August 14th to 17th.
There you go. CMTO. There you go. And listen, I do get those emails. I'm not Daryl doing a phenomenal job out there. I get the emails that are coming. Um, so like you said, I mean, the opportunity is there. Go get them. I understand it's far away from people in Western Canada, but the real reality is there is a spot for you if you want to be on Team Canada, and you have to
Yes.
go there and you have to win.
And the
So
thing is, like last year at the qualifiers, there was several teams from BC, several teams from Alberta
right on,
and stuff.
right on.
So
Doing a good job out there for real.
yeah, they have
Yeah,
three rings going. Last year it was 2 days. This year it's going to be 3 days.
beauty. So getting bigger.
Getting bigger, yeah. They have three rings going, and you have to earn your spot. It's not just
Love it.
given to you.
Yes, yes, love it. And by the way, at no point did I ever allude to that. Just so you know.
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's not what I was saying at all. But great, man. So in this situation, it doesn't matter where you're at in the country. It kind of goes with that saying. You can take a horse, you can lead a horse to the water, but
Are you gonna say you can shoot a horse?
I don't even know. I butchered that like it was what's his name there? Ricky from Trailer Park Boys. You can walk a horse over to the water, but if he doesn't drink it, he'll get mad, or But
It's fantastic.
you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, I got it.
There's the door. You get to choose to walk through it or not.
Yeah,
Christ, I
yeah,
butchered that.
definitely. And the
Um,
thing is, with all these, even with all these like new airlines like Porter
yeah,
and stuff, Porter's actually
yes,
awesome. I
yes,
mean, flights for us to Ontario are like $250 round trip.
yep. I paid
Right?
two oh
So
eight round trip.
yeah, so it's not like it used to be. It's still expensive. Let's not kid ourselves to
Sure,
go, but it's actually not that difficult to go if you want to go.
that's right. And the
So
reality is, man, if you do need to raise money, well, fighters, it looks like you got a job to do, man. Time to
yeah.
fundraise.
And the
You know?
thing is, even if you don't win it, the talent pool out there
Yeah,
is like the people that you want to face as
right.
someone who wants to grow,
Yes.
right? There were amazing guys like Garrett South was out there,
Yep.
you
Shout out to Garrett.
know, guys from Southside Kick or Southside Muay Thai in Ontario out there,
Yep. Yep.
Lou Ramel from M Town.
Yep. Shout out to
They're
Ramel, friend of the
fighters, they're
show.
top-notch kids that have had a lot of experience. So you're going to be fighting a different level opponent out there.
Yeah. If you think about it, like we've all been part of a qualifier of some sorts where you're like, man, I didn't qualify for shit.
Yeah,
You're legit going to be on. You've really earned your spot if you win that tournament.
you legitimately have to win it. Like there's nothing handed to you. You literally have to win it and do
Yeah.
it.
Do you think,
So
in the layman's question, whether it's a layman's answer, I don't know, but is the reason I've said this so many times coming out of COVID, Muay Thai Ontario, man, I cannot keep up. There's so many fighters, so many events, and they look great. Clearly, starting to happen in BC. Is that because of the PSOs? Is that why things are growing so fast in those two provinces?
yes,
That's
because all the promoters are on the same page. It's
yeah.
like if you want to do it, this is what it is. Everyone's on the same page, so everyone works together.
And then there's no squishiness with commissions. It's if you want to do
No,
it, there it is.
no,
I got nothing else to say.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool, man,
So,
cool. Well, I very much want that to happen out here, man.
like I said, for me, I think you need the provincial commission first. And I heard some slight ruffling
I've been
that
hearing
they
some
were
rumblings.
trying to start a provincial commission out there.
Yeah, it sounds like it needs to happen, man. Is the bottom line.
Because if you can get everyone on the same page through the commission, that transfer to the same page under a PSO is very simple.
Yeah,
But if
I see.
everyone's fragmented,
Yeah,
it's gonna hard to get them on that same page for the PSO.
right. Well, and that's why I was kind of alluding to, man. This could take years just to
Yeah.
get everybody on the same page. Um,
And like I said, we got our PSO September 2022, and we're slowly getting there. Slowly getting more gyms involved and more promotions and stuff. It is quite the journey, but it's definitely worth it.
was it you? Well, and maybe alluding to this question, was it you that decided, like, listen, I got to do this? Like I know you said you're vice president, but was it you that decided this
Yes.
need to happen?
Yes.
Okay. When did that? So the second you were like, fuck it, going on Google, I got to find a phone number
Like
for a commission.
2017.
Okay, so this process is
Well, no. So it's like I had the idea in 2017
okay.
again because I was sick of seeing people do Muay Thai with the one knee and separate and
Don't pull
everything.
the head down, and yeah.
And then obviously with 2019 put a damper in things.
Mm-hmm.
So and 2020 didn't help either.
Nope.
2021 kind of a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then we
Still
just
uncertain.
started going from there. Put a strong board together and yeah, been going ever since.
Nice. And so is the amount of back end paperwork before doing this the same as after? What once it,
Yeah.
yeah. The reality is, like I said, somebody has to sit down and do the paperwork.
Yeah. And
Right.
our president is phenomenal. He's phenomenal with the relationships that we need, like with the government and with the
Right.
head of the commission and stuff. Like he's fantastic. He's done
Nice.
so much for us to get us here. He's very
Cool.
diplomatic, we'll say.
Sure. Hey man,
Whereas
you need
I
that. You need
am
that.
not.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
But hey
See, I
man,
was I was smart enough knowing that going in.
right, there you
Like
go.
I should not be in charge.
Hey, listen, man, you need a rough side of the stone and the soft side of the stone to make it work.
I'm definitely the rough.
Me too, usually. I hear you, man. Listen, man. Okay, I appreciate that. I don't. That really clarified some things for me, just as far as when you just see how things are working everywhere. Like
Yeah.
it's not even. I'm not even saying how come it doesn't do that here. What I'm just. It's more just like, what are you guys doing? How are you
Yeah.
doing that? Like
Well, and that's the thing, right? Because we're doing stuff different, because Ontario's doing stuff different, you just if you're not involved with it, you just don't know,
right, right,
right? So
and even going out to like several shows in Ontario, like it just seeing how they're run and anyway, it's I definitely get it. And if I'm being honest, I was resistant to it too, like you said you were initially. Um, and I don't even have a reason why, if I'm being honest. Maybe you just hate change. I like 5 rounds, but again, that's so minor. That's just a
like I
minor
I
issue.
honestly after doing the 3 threes, even all my guys are like 5 rounds suck.
Really?
Yeah. Like 5 twos. Terrible.
I get it. I get it.
And the thing is, nowhere like
Right.
most
That's a
people
big part
do
you
the
said.
three threes,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
it's
Why are we changing shit? Reinventing the wheel.
jumping from 5-2 sprints to 5-3s, like calm.
Apples and
Yeah.
oranges. Yeah, no, I don't
So
disagree with you, man. And listen, I always try to keep my cup empty, and I have my opinions and I have my thoughts, but I'm always, like you said, I'm always looking to learn, and you're one of the guys with a lot of experience who I feel comfortable asking these questions to and getting proper answers.
thank you.
Really appreciate it, man.
Thanks.
Anything before we're out of here? Hey, give me your top three favorite fighters from the Golden Era. I think we've already done this, so but might not have
Oh,
been Golden Era.
Smart,
Yep.
Danny Bill,
Oh,
Samson.
nice, nice, very good. Um,
And only because I've been watching a lot of those three lately. Well,
sure,
I was
sure.
watching a lot of Smart and Danny Bill, but I've been watching a lot of Samson lately. And so,
Nice. Yeah, I
yeah.
was a big fan of him back in the day. And Danny Bill's one of those guys you see him do stuff like, oh, I'm gonna go try that at the gym, and you're like, oh, that's why I'm not Danny Bill.
Yeah, well,
It's
exactly,
a
right?
wizard. That guy's an actual wizard.
Like I had someone yesterday in class, they're like, "Hey, can we do that Sansrai shuffle?" I'm like, "You can't even step and throw a jab. No, we cannot."
Yeah,
I'm like, stop watching the internet and
yeah,
let's get your basics, and then you can watch the internet
yeah.
again.
Stop listening or learning from Sensei YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, he's one of few that can do it. You're
Yes.
not in that
Right.
few.
Right. He's an
So
anomaly. That's why we watch him.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. If it was that easy, everyone would do it.
That's it.
Like Floyd Mayweather's defense.
That's right.
If it was that easy, no one would ever get hit.
That's right. Yeah, boxing would be boring.
Yeah.
Anything before out of here, man?
No, it was awesome. Love coming on here.
Beauty. Listen, let's do it again. We didn't even touch those events, man. Your fight card, and I know that you had a fighter, I believe, or maybe just cornering against Damian Smith last weekend or
Yeah,
the weekend before.
no, that was my fighter Max Burridge, actually Caden Kutzer's coach.
Okay, and shout out to Max. He's contacted me a few times through the
Yeah,
podcast.
that's Max's. Max fought Damien. Yeah, that was a tough fight.
Did he break his arm?
No, no, no. It just had some nerve damage.
Oh, okay, okay.
Not nerve damage, just soft tissue damage. It's good. He's back training. He's fighting in 3 weeks.
Oh,
So
nice,
yeah,
nice.
no, he was back training last week.
Beauty.
Everything's good.
Where's he fighting?
Next week he's fighting on, or in 3 weeks he's fighting on my show.
Nice.
I'm doing a show in Langley
Okay.
at Cascade Casino.
Oh, nice.
And
Okay.
then he's fighting a month later actually in Ontario, him and Caden. I'm
Oh,
taking them out there for that. So
busy. Which fight
yeah,
card is that?
that's Romel's represent.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Represent. Yeah. Big fan. I love Romel. I love that guy. Friend of the show. I try to commentate, or when I commentate, give him a shout out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he puts on great shows. So I've
Nice.
taken guys out there in the past. So yeah, it'll be good.
Nice. Awesome, man. Well, once again, man, I thank you. Again, let's do it again, man.
Hey, you let me know when I'm here.
I remember even when I was like 19, man, we were training at Mike Miles. Whenever anybody had a question about Thailand or Muay Thai, they always said, go talk to Jay.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot.
That
Thank
was a
you.
long time ago, man.
Okay, you don't got to say it like that. I think the white in my beard says that enough. You
I
don't
hear you,
need to
man.
vocalize it.
Yes, sir. I understand. All right, man. Well, thanks again, and
All right.
thank you for answering my questions.
Thank you.
I've been curious for decades, honestly, decades. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. Like I said, anytime. It's
All
awesome.
right, I appreciate it, man. Up
All
next
right.
Monday, I'm hoping for Joe coming forward from Australia and commentator
Awesome.
digital, yeah, all that good stuff. So hopefully we can line that up, and that'll be on Monday.
Awesome.
All right, thanks very much, sir.
All right.
Talk
Thanks.
soon.